Hello, this is Pat Walker, Mission Winners. We're going through here, taking a look at the ETFs. People say, why do we look at the ETFs? It doesn't seem like that's a good use of time. No, we all have 24 hours a day. We're not going to waste time. All right, so we use it and we use it wisely. A major portion of leading stocks, being leading stocks, is dependent on the group that it's in. Stocks that are in strong groups tend to outperform. Just common sense. So what do? We look at the ETFs and it tells us what groups are strong and what groups to stay away from. ARK Innovation is just kind of chopping around here. It needs to start pushing through the 200-day. This is one of Kathy Wood's ETFs. Nothing really special at this point in time. Breakout opportunities. Look at that. It's hit right near highs. That's good to see. Something to watch. And here's what you do. Take the ticker symbol and look at the top 10 holdings. That's where money goes. There we go. Cloud computing, near highs. Cloud computing stocks, CLOU. There we go. Energy, chopping around here a little bit. This is a telltale sign. Was rallying up, fell on heavy volume, reversed up, fell on heavier volume. So maybe it's topping here. I'm not saying it is, but it's just something to watch. A couple of selling bars in there in energy. Dow Jones Internet, just chopping around here a little bit, okay? Our first trust, Dow Jones Internet. It's chopping around, not a tremendous amount of leadership at the time. IBD50 ETF owns the IBD50 stocks. It's hanging in there. Constructive, that's good to see. Right here, gold miners. In 1 second, literally in 1 second, says, I ain't looking at gold miners. You're done. That's it. Junior gold miners, below the falling 200-day, falling. No, forget it. Forget gold miners. Not now. Not this week. Forget it. Done. Gold, choppy here. Big reversal bar here, did it on less volume. Pretty choppy here. You look at the gold miners, you look at this. Not the best hole to go fishing in. Move on. Cybersecurity. Look at this. Technology related. Nice cup and a handle right here. Deep V cup and a handle. Check out what they own. Hack. Something to look at. Biotechnology lagging. Look at this. It's below the 50-day. It's below the 200-day. The air is better above a rising 50-day and above a rising 200-day. There you go. Online retail, lagging poorly. Leave it alone. North American technology, another technology-oriented ETF, hitting new highs. That's good to see, or right near new highs. Power there, technology. Medicine, kind of chopping up here a little bit. Not tremendous leadership, but not too bad, above the 50-day. Mid-cap stocks, oh, this is good. Mid-cap stocks, someplace to look at, something to remember. Home builders were really strong. They fell hard. They're coming back. It's kind of loose in here, okay? Needs to start tightening up a little bit more. Better places to look for your money. This one owns a lot of the MAXLIST stocks. Look at that. Hitting all-time highs. It has been really strong for a while. Gosh, do you think at Mission Winners we own some MAXLIST stocks? Gee whiz, I wonder. Let me think here. Oh, yeah, maybe we do. Maybe MAXLIST. Let me think here. Maybe Google. Microsoft. Oh, maybe Netflix. There you go. And on down the line. Small cap needs to start showing some life right here. Okay? Just chopping around. Needs to get through this line up here. Till then, kind of be careful with it. Airline stocks, in 1 second, they ain't flying. I'll slow down. I was horsing around. There's nothing good here. Forget the airline stocks for now. Maybe I can find one. We don't have an ego. We get in line with what is. Regional banking, that's hanging in there, trending up, something to consider. Mid-cap, not bad at all. Mid-cap stocks, remember that. Oil services was leading, it's dropping here a little bit. Still a decent leadership position, something to watch. But what catches your eyes? Well, that's pretty heavy selling volume right there, Pat. Then it lifted up on fairly low volume, and then it fell on pretty heavy selling volume. Maybe it's losing leadership. Be aware of that. Online retail in 1 second. Nope, there ain't nothing there. Goodbye. Software lagging. Nothing special with the software. Nasdaq 100 QLD. What does that tell you? Maybe I should look at some Nasdaq 100 stocks. Yeah, and those are the kinds of things we own. There you go. It was telling you. QQQ, same situation. Everything's great. Cloud computing, hanging in there. Not that far off all-time highs. Good to look at. Silver below the 200-day. It's tarnished. Steel, falling. Nothing good here. Leave it alone. Semiconductors, technology related. Picking up. Maybe it'll form a little handle. One slight negative is it rallied on decreasing volume versus that selling volume. What does that tell you? Maybe it's something we'll start looking at. Okay. Wouldn't it be great if it formed a little handle and then took off? Semiconductors, another technology stocks. Semiconductors, another ETF. Spiders hitting all-time highs, the S&P 500. There you go. You could find some of the leading stocks in the S&P 500. You could have found them back here. Yes, some of the stocks we own are in the S&P 500. SSO like SPY, fine. Solar, doing fine. And it has been doing good. You could look at some solar stocks. There we go. Small cap, TNA, leverage, still lagging. Uranium, just chopping around here. There's, it's okay, but nothing really great. Oil, hanging in there. That's good. Look at some oil. Aerospace and defense, it ain't going. It's dead money. Don't think about it anymore. Don't look into the stocks in the group. In fact, if you do, those are the ones to avoid. There you go. Home builders may be forming a handle. That's not too bad. Materials, hanging in there. That's not bad at all either. Do you see where there's some opportunities to look into some stuff? Communications in 1 second. Stay away from it. You could find out what their top 10 holdings are and say, that's the stuff I don't want to look at. There you go. Power. Energy's hanging in there. Consider energy. Financials, hanging in pretty strong. There you go. Oh, there is a MAXLIST stock in that group. Gosh, what's the name of it? Something Goldman? Yeah, you got it. Goldman Sachs. Hanging in here, the financials. Industrials forming a cup and a handle. That's nice to see. Takes out these tops, so it shows that there's some strength around. Technology hitting all-time highs. Tech. And how many times have I talked about how strong tech is in this video? We're 6.5 minutes into this video, and I've said it quite a few times. Technology. Here we go. Consumer staples is chopping around, not much going on there. Utilities, there's nothing happening there. Consumer discretionary is looking pretty good. Look at that. Punch up XLY and find out what their top 10 holdings are. Look at that move. There you go. Metals and mining, chopping around, stay away from it. Oil and gas, it's hanging in there okay, not too bad, something to look at. XOP, exploration. Retail, I'd stay away from them. Look at this. That's not leadership. You're not going to see this chart pattern in any book saying, this is what you want to look for, okay? No, you're not. Software, it's starting to bounce back up again. It's near highs, technology related, and we go back to the top. Let's look at the MAXLIST. Here we go. There's Apple, lifted up, had earnings. This is why you never buy just before earnings. This big drop here, that would hurt. That would hurt. You can say, well, it didn't close that bad. Yeah, that's called investing through the rearview mirror. I don't know what's going to happen at the close when the stock's trading down at around 147. Okay? So live in the now, watch it and see what happens. There's Apple. But it did have a good close. That's nice to see. But it's a little loose here. So see if something tightens up and it forms good. Amazon, earnings. Look at this. Look what this did here. Boom, boom. By the way, one of the patterns we teach and use at Mission Winners is the simple higher low setup. See that low? And then it rallies up and then it falls. This low is higher than this low, right? And I didn't even need a calculator to figure that out. And I had it on the list. I said, if it takes out the highs of this bar, that's a buy. And it did. And it did it on volume. And then look at this bar. See that line right there? Said if it takes out that line going across there, buy more. And it did it. And it did it on volume right there. So you're buying right here. And you're buying more right here. Do the math. That's a couple hundred points real quick. There you go. There you go. And some VIPs did it. There it is. Amazon right now is just chopping around. I do like this, that it gapped down. This had earnings. That it gapped down, it fell, and it closed near its highs. That's a plus. It's a little choppy here, so you got to be careful with it, but it did recover. All right. Alibaba, there ain't nothing there. It's below the 200-day. There's nothing here. It might go. I don't want to play the might game. There's nothing there. Move on. Chinese stock, forget it. BIDU, nothing there. Move on. Facebook, which is changing their name. This was earnings. It's just chopping around here, okay? It's not demonstrating any leadership. You see that volume selling on that bar? That ain't mom and dad selling. That's big money selling, okay? And if it is your mom and dad, I'd like to meet them. Just kidding. There you go. Let's move on. Google, check this out. Look at the lift on this bar. Then a quiet bar, and then it starts to ignite. Yeah, that's good to see. MAXLIST stock. Google, think about this. Nobody does what Google does as good as Google does it. You can say it about every one of these stocks. Amazon, nobody does what Amazon does as good as Amazon does it. Facebook, nobody does what Facebook does as good as Facebook does, okay? Here we go. Google, similar situation. Looks good. Guess what? Starts to lift through here. Gosh, I guess I know some people that might be buying some more. Oh yeah, there you go. Thanks. Goldman Sachs, what do we have here, folks? This is forming a cup and a handle. Look at that. I've even drawn the handle here. This could lift off. I'm not saying it's going to. I said could. But if it does, we'll be ready. MasterCard. Yeah, I think somebody needs to take their credit cards back. There ain't nothing good about that. Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. See that selling volume? That's big money getting out. Just forget it. Better fish to fry. Microsoft, we own it right here, and we bought more. Look at the base. Look at the clean and simple base formation there. It's nothing fancy. A third grader could draw with a crayon, but it really messes up your computer monitor, so don't let them do that, okay? And it's just marching. That's good to see. Netflix, entry. Look at this. Down here, company handle. Downward sloping trend line, volume surge. And what's it doing? The animal's just trending. Walking up to 21 EMA. It ain't nothing fancy. Nobody does what Netflix does as good as Netflix does it. There you go. And that's why we ride it for as long as it's worth. Which leads to a very important point. You know, it sounds like it's really cute when I say nobody does what Netflix does as good as Netflix does it, or Amazon, or Apple, or whatever. It doesn't matter. That's great. That's a fact. But don't let that cloud the judgment on the chart. If the stock is falling, you've got to leave it alone. Okay? I strongly encourage you. Control risk. It's trending nicely for us with these buys. And what are we doing? We're just letting it work. Note today it picked up on a pickup in volume. We like that. NVIDIA, another one. You mentioned that higher low. Remember I talked about the higher low on Amazon? I'm going to show you again. Boom. And that's a higher low. Oh, that might work. Watch. By the way, that was on the key list. Watch this. NVIDIA. It falls and rests. What's this? Oh, gosh, I think this low is higher than that low. IOB. And that trigger bar started here, more here, right here. We'll call it 212. And look at that move. And by the way, you see the little buy signal there? Yeah, it was bought. There it is. This is what we do. This is what we teach. And it works. And it's nothing fancy. I'm not into all kinds of fancy indicators. By the way, you don't see any indicators on any of this. Okay. Price and volume and moving averages talk. It's all we need. And we turn off the noise. Square, just chop it around. There's really nothing special with this at this point in time. Tesla. See that clean and simple flat base? See that volume pickup on that bar? Right there? That was our last buy. Right there. See that? And you see the trend up the 8-period EMA? Exponential moving average? Yeah. You think we still own it? Yes. Yeah. Have we sold some and locked some profits in? Yes. Entry right here. I'll call it 810. 810 to 1110. That's 300 points. There it is. And it's just trending. When is it going to stop? I don't know. Do you? It will tell us. There we go. Clean and simple. Twitter. See that big reversal bar right there? Gaps up, runs up, and reverses down on a pickup in volume. It's telling you there's something wrong. And then you don't know how low it's going to go, but that's a trigger. It's simple. Just simple chart analysis. That's what we're looking for. Is there anything to do with it now? I'm just telling you this. The tweets ain't helping. Forget it. Visa. What's Visa's cousin? That one. And there you go. See that bar see that clean and simple line? It gaps up, it runs up, and reverses down on a pickup in volume. That is a trigger that if you bought it, that is a trigger to sell some. The best ones just push away. And when they don't, hey, just move on. There you go. Nothing fancy.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.